We're talking about spiritual rage and answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
He kind of looks like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You like to summon your end table with this too.
My God, you're crazy.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that
always
make sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine. Somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some MagnaWave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come on here and talk bullshit and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everybody. Welcome aboard. Gosh, what's with this retrograde energy? It's freely stuffing up my vibe. What about you guys? You guys feeling that energy, that sluggish energy? I feel like I've been the only one moving in my world, and everybody else is just paused around me. It's cray-cray. But anyways, we'll get through this, and I'm sure I'll hear more of your guys' stories about your experiences during this amazing, wonderful, sluggish retrograde. Let's see who's in the room. We have Christy Reese. Hello, good evening to you. David Cruz. Hello. Daryl Blankenship is actually headed home tonight on a flight, so maybe he can join us. Can you join us? Can you watch us? Anyways, hello to you, brother. Nina, our wonderful mod, is in the room. Make sure you give her some love, as you all do. She'll be guiding you, especially those who are new, if you wish to book a session, or a reading, an online reading, online. Stumbling already. Any live readings tonight. We'll get that information up in a second. Christine Bronner, welcome. Allie Taylor, good to see you. Jennifer Cruz, my mother, welcome. And Lisa Cruz, my sister. Got the family up in here tonight. Speaking of family, my soul sister, Sydney, welcome. Good to see you. Lovely Noel Way, welcome aboard. Patty Snow, good to see you. Hello. The Nightbot, Lorraine. Hi, how's it going, Lorraine? And we have Stephanie Whitaker, Allie Taylor, I think I've mentioned. Celeste, good to see you. Rita Owender, welcome. Burgundy, good to see you. And those who are watching, welcome. I can only see who's chatting in the box, so all y'all creepers watching from behind, enjoy. And so today we have, of course, live readings, $15 for card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, $40 for a live video. And of course, the PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. You want to get those in before I close them out, because I had a few times people were booking them last minute and they were closed. So get them in. I go in order. And today's topic is spiritual rage. Now, it doesn't sound as hated as it may be, but we'll get into, sometimes people think that if there's something wrong, they feel like karma will take care of it. I don't have to do anything. But meanwhile, there's a push, there's a zeal to push forward with our soul. And sometimes we have to follow that. And sometimes we might be the ones that have to stand up and make change and create the karma for those who are doing any type of chaotic energy. But we'll get into that more specifically. And of course, we will start now with the collective read, and we'll shuffle the cards, see what's going on there. Lots been going on. And I am in this kind of drunken haze from this retrograde. So you might hear me be wackadoo tonight. This is live. It's raw. And I think for me, the whole thing that, is my signature is I'm polished. Things are polished, but so raw at the same time. Not so polished. So let's see what the collective read is for you all today. And I think, especially with the topic, I was thinking about a topic today. I'm like, you know what? The spiritual rage is a good thing, because I think a lot of people have been feeling the tension. I think a lot of people have been feeling the heatedness of having to do something to make change, and and I think there's been a lot of that energy, and and being spiritual doesn't mean we have to sit back and allow things to happen. Being spiritual means we have that fire energy too. So and hopefully we'll see how the collective message reads with that too, because it'd be kind of funny if it's in alignment, but I felt like that was very much needed for this week as well. Also allowing yourself to exhale and screaming, get it out of you, right? That's also a wonderful thing. Okay, Tommy Garassi, good to see you, buddy. Thursday nights. All right, still shuffling the cards, just saying we're not ready just yet. And those of you who don't know me, I'm not a tarot reader, but I use tarot for circumstances as this, to do collective messages, and to kind of like hint me in a direction of a message, so I'm just shuffling. Bloody, welcome. All right, let's see here what the read is. Okay. All right, let's pull some oracles. Kind of in alignment, but I think we have some like really positive light energy in this read too. I think the positive lightness will offset the spiritual rage you're going to be talking about in just a moment. And let's see what the oracles have to say. And this is a really good collective me too, because I think that, I always take advantage of retrograde energies as far as like for sake of pausing and for the sake of kind of like, cleaning up house, spring cleaning, like we were talking about the last week with cups of spring cleaning things out. But they're saying here, it is time to kind of, I don't want to say celebrate the things that you're doing and to celebrate the things that have gone in the past, but enjoying the things that you're doing right now. Because, a lot of times when we are moving too fast or pushing too fast, we kind of forget the simplicities that we have that we need to cherish. And because those things that we need to get in order in the simple fashion, we need to tend to those. So when things do pick up again, we have the complete balance without being scattered, without being fragmented. So they're saying really celebrate the things you have now. Celebrate the little cozy energy that you have now. Celebrate the intimate connections that you have now. It could be the fact that you have Thursdays off that you can watch me, you get to snuggle up. Enjoy that, embrace that. Find the ease and find the blessings in these little moments that you have so that, you can actually be, I would say, prepared when things start picking up. Because this is, of course, the Three of Cups about the celebration, but the Eight of Wands in reverse is saying, because right now we need to slow things down. We do need to slow things down. So if you're feeling like you're moving too fast and you feel like everything else around you is paused and slow, and this is actually a message for me too, then it means that you might be pushing too fast. You might be hands-on too much. You might need to take your hands off a little bit and take a step back to observe and to kind of digest what's happening instead of push. So it's saying take your time right now. If you're going to be pushing right now, you're going to feel a lot of opposition. You're going to feel a lot of that kind of chaotic energy. Because right now with the Three of Wands, they're saying now it's time to be reflective, of what's beyond, and understand that, yes, you've been working on those things to get yourself ahead in the future, to create that future for yourself. But it's time to like reflect on this, like really try to like playing the roles, being the actor in your mind and playing those roles. Okay, when this happens, I'm going to do this. When this happens, this is going to happen here. You're kind of rearranging things right now. You're not doing, you're rearranging, and you're actually preparing for when things do manifest in that future reality. You understand what that role is, your role is, and others' roles are when you're doing any type of co-creation. Because and the Star of Reverse is saying you're not the only one involved here. You're not the only special one here. You're not the only one that's actually dictating and calling the shots. There are others around you in your life that are special. There are other voices in your life that are required to be absorbed and digested to play on a team. If you guys are playing on a team, or if you have family members that you're trying to arrange things with, you're not the only voice. Remember, there are other voices of support, other voices of love, other voices of inspiration. And a lot of times your guides and I would say the universe, if you want to call it the universe, I like to say guides and spirit, they like to come through other people. They like to come through song, through message. Whatever the case is, any way they can get through to you, they're going to get through to you. And a lot of times it will be through people that you love, through people that are connected close to you. So take heed on what people are telling you. Take heed on the inspirations people are telling you. Take heed on the advice that you're getting. Because that is your own soul talking to you too through other people. And so now is a week, I would say, we're talking more about this week. Now is this week, and kind of blending into next week too. We'll say this week between Thursday and next Thursday. This is the week that you really need to kind of take heed and take a pause and take a step back and reflect. Stop going so fast. And yes, this message is for me too, because clearly I'm reading this, it's speaking to me as well. I've been going too fast and push. And so, because what's going to happen is that's going to backfire during this time. Any type of energy that's going against this kind of, this retrograde of, I would say, reflection and analyzation, you're going to be bounced back with conflict if you're trying to push so much. And almost like you're not getting much done that you think you're getting done, or you get a lot done, you have to redo it. And so almost like, working in circles, hamster on a wheel energy. You think you're moving, but you're not really going anywhere, right? And so they're saying that, you now have the options to decide where you want to go. You guys are now in a position where you are driving your lives. You guys are now in a position where you have choice. You guys are now in a position that you understand that you had a choice when you thought you didn't have a choice. You realize now, I do have a choice, and I'm navigating this ship, baby, right? And so resistance. I like that this came up when it comes to the angelic card, the resistance, because it's really saying right now you need to resist the things that are going against you, that are opposing you. Resist that. And people say, oh, the path of least resistance and path of least resistance, or what you resist persists. It depends, because resisting, I would say, I like to use this kind of crass analogy that if somebody was going to sexually assault you, you're going to resist that and pull away. Does that mean they're going to persist? Not if you pull away and move out of there, run away, right? So resisting means you're pulling away. You're not allowing the opposing forces to dominate. That's what resistance really means here, that you're resisting that. You're standing up and having resilience. I love the fact this card came right after that. Being resilient, that you're going to pursue and proceed in your own energy without the contamination of other people's energy. That's being resilient in that sense. And the last card with the collective read in the Oracle sense was having gratitude, because it's like we were saying before with the Three of Cups, like celebrating, but not celebrating, but appreciating what you have now. Because Three of Cups is all about celebration, but I understand what they're saying is like to enjoy and to appreciate. And yes, the final card is gratitude. Because so many times like, oh, I just wish I was this. Oh, I wish I was that, but I wish I was this. How about just enjoy what you are now, where you're at right now in the current process, right? Be thankful, and it sounds very stupidly simple. Be thankful you had food to eat. Be thankful that you had the roof over your head. All the simplicities that we hear all the time, you guys are not doing that. You guys are not appreciating the little things. You're always like, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. And so, and that's not a bad thing, but it's just that you guys are being very intuitive and psychic of that. That door is about to open, that dam is about to burst, and all this wonderful momentum is about to burst through. You guys can feel that. So be mindful of that. Not that you're pushing it, and not that you're trying to push and be so, in control of it. It's enjoying the current circumstances, because again, as we know, life comes in waves, right? That's movement. Life isn't a static flat wave. That's flat line energy means that there's no life. There's no movement. Life comes in waves. So when you have an up, you got to be prepared for the down. When you're in a down moment, be prepared for the uptick. And so a lot of times when we're busy, things get slow again, busy, slow again, because, we need to rest. We need to recalibrate, but make sure you prepare for both the rising and the falling of that energetic wave. And so like people say, prepare for a rainy day, right? Same thing. Rest up before the uptick, before you get busy. You guys have to be conscious of this. You have to be conscious of this collective movement. This way you're prepared for both. When it's up, you're energized. When it's down, you're relaxing and you're prepared to have that cushion of security, either emotionally, financially, energetically, whatever the case is. Prepare for that. So right now, enjoy this period of reflection. Enjoy this period of arranging things in your life. Enjoy this time that that you're betwixt the older energy and the newer energy. And we've been talking about this for quite some time, and I've been trying to coach you guys and lead you guys into this newer paradigm with ease, so you understand the process of how it's evolving and unfolding. So you just all of a sudden don't go from A to Z like, oh my God, I'm in shock and I don't know what to do, and you make the wrong decisions. The wrong decisions, even though there's no such thing as a wrong decision, because every decision you will make will lead you to your path, is on your path anyway, but you might just take a longer time or drag yourselves through the mud, even though you're getting there without enjoying the process. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards on that, because I feel like there's an additional to that, so we'll do a part 2, and we'll get into this as well. I have to say, Spirit is telling me right now that you guys do feel a lot of opposition right now. And you guys do feel a lot of opposition in, maybe in certain situations, personal situations, work, all the different dynamics in one's life. I think that you guys might be feeling that opposition, even within yourself. And if you're feeling an opposition energy, there could be two reasons for this during this time. You know, one, that you're pushing too much, and two, you're not pushing enough. So it's time for us to be very conscious of, am I pushing enough? Or am I not pushing enough? And this is going to actually lead us into, look at this. Four of Wands. It's all about, you know, making sure you're actually succumbing to your home life and making sure you're getting your home life in order. You're relaxing. You're keeping your sanctuary clear. You're keeping your energy clear. And maybe a little more domestic right now. So it's funny that kind of came up in that way. But because when there's opposition, we do need time to kind of have a game plan and create a game plan and oversee, you know, what's going on and from a third perspective, from a broader perspective. And so we're going to talk about those who have opposition that you need to stand up. A lot of you guys are feeling in opposition to where, you know, you guys are like, oh, well, I don't want to go there with my energy. I don't want to really kind of, you know, I'm not going to give that too much energy. I'm going to take a step back from that. And Spirit's like, well, maybe you need to stand up against and fight against it. And you can feel that impulse and you can feel that somewhat rage. And I don't want to say rage in a sense that's chaotic, but there's like a zeal, a zest that says, you know, I got to do something. I want to do something, but I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative. It's the resistance of doing what's best for you is what is negative. Standing up for yourself is positive. It's empowering, especially if you are in the essence of truth. If you're in the essence of falsehoods or essence of negative energy or you know, dishonest energy or ego, well, then that'll be a negative result. But if someone is opposing you and there's opposition and it's time for you to stand up and take action and not allow yourself to back down, and if you're standing in the essence of truth and what is right, then you will succeed. Especially because now this time is teaching you empowerment. During this retrograde, you either need to be taught how to be empowered or how to take a step back. Okay? So you guys, some of you guys know that you need to take a stand, but you're not taking a stand at the moment. And you can feel that zeal, you can feel that energy pushing through. And if it's not being attended to, you're gonna feel anxiety. I feel anxious, like an unresolved, because you have all this energy of intensity of what you know needs to be expressed, and you're withholding it back. It will turn into anxiety. So those of you who need to stand up, take that stand now. Understand when you're standing in truth, you're going to succeed, especially if you're doing to empower yourself and to stop the forces that are opposing you. You're going to have to stop it yourself by saying to yourself, well, I don't want to give my energy to it. I don't be negative. You know, karma will take care of it. That's wrong, because that karma will keep coming to you if you continue that cycle. If you don't shut down that energy, you'll keep repeating the attraction of that energy, which means you'll continue the karma yourself. And therefore, you're saying to that energy or the universe or God that is okay, that they can do that energy to me. I'm just going to let it, I'm going to allow it. I'm not going to do anything about it. You can't do that. You got to take a stand energetically. And you take that stand to the best of your ability. You can't no more. And this way you are telling yourself, I will push for myself, the pride of myself. I will push for what is true and what is correct. And have that, I would say, strength within to push away those things that are coming at me. Because if someone's going to attack you in a physical sense, you'll do everything you can to fight against it. Or call the cops. You'll do something to stop it. The same has to be done energetically. Now, those of you who are feeling massive opposition and you know you're pushing too hard, you need to learn how to take a step back. And if you're push, you're feeling all this opposition, you're pushing too much against the wrong entities. You're pushing too much against the wrong energies. And so you're going to feel a lot of opposition because you're the force that's actually trying to push you things that is bringing chaos, that's creating more chaos. So you guys have to be aware when you're pushing too much and how to take a step back. And allow your energy to sit in peace and sit in observation mode, like we were saying about this retrograde. And that rage of moving forward, I gotta go. That's a very rage energy. It's a chaotic energy. And so, you know, rage to me just means it's a consistent, you know, impulse and it's a consistent push. It can be very positive, very negative. It's a rage. But we always associate that with a negative, which is true. But I like to say the spiritual rage is kind of like trying to bring light to the dark. But some of you guys are trying to, you know, get that light, but you're actually bringing more darkness because you're pushing too much, that you're becoming the sense of opposition to a lot of people, which is why you're feeling it. So make sure you guys are aware if you're pushing too much, if you need to take a step back, or if you need to stand up to yourself and for yourself and what is right and what is correct. And so, because a lot of you guys are just saying, well, I don't want to spend my energy on that. I hear that all the time and it keeps happening to them. It repeats that cycle. And so, So again, this is a very much a time of the retrograde that really needs for you guys to understand when to take to stand and when to take a step back. And that internal rage you will feel. You'll know where it's coming from. When I say rage, it's like an impulse. It's a push, push, push. And that could be positive too. Everything has a positive and a negative. You could have a rage, but that rage is like, I have a rage for justice. I have a rage for what is right. I'm sick of this injustice has happened. I need to take a stand. That could be a very positive expression. Or that rage could just simply be, I gotta get things done. And so you create opposition. You're creating the chaos unconsciously. Be aware of that. It's very important. And so understand that, and I say this all the time with positive and negative energy, that taking a stand, pushing against something is not negative. It's actually, we have to shift and maneuver energy. We have to take our energy and to create an impact and make a dent in certain aspects and areas. We need to take that light and shine it on the negative. By not doing anything, we're not shining a light on anything. It's a subconscious allowing. It's a passive allowing energy of that negativity, that chaotic energy. It's our job, if you want to be a person of the light, it's our job to take that fragmentation, take that chaos, and make sense of it and put it together and create peace out of it. A peace, one piece. Peace as an IECE and peace as EACE. Okay, both peace we need to create and bring things together, calm things down, and bring harmony. That is our job. And too many spiritual people are actually unconsciously creating a lot of chaos, because I've been seeing, especially during this time, people's egos, and I think during this time too, a lot of egos are being, expressed. So we're trying to get a grapple of our ego this week too. And there's a lot of spiritual communities that they're using a lot of ego and they're pushing in different directions and they're creating chaos. They don't realize they're creating chaos. And there's people who are so passive, they're creating chaos because they're being too passive. Same thing. So now's a great time to put all in balance. Now's a great time to take a step back and understand our participation in the collective and what we are engaging with, and as well as the people that we are connected with in our life and who we're working with, all the above. What is our participation, and what is the petition? See, I'm getting tongue-tied here. What is the participation of others in our lives and allowing that harmony to just exist and coexist? So some of you guys need to hear this. There's some people in the room, and I need to hear a lot of this too. Half of this is definitely for me. And there's a lot of control freak energy going on in the room. And I know what that's like. Aquarius, Virgo rising. I know it. I am not saying I am unknown to that energy. But that even though you might be doing it in a positive sense, it's still creating a negative result. Well, I'm doing great things. I have great things I have to do, but you're not allowing spirit to flow through. That's still creating negative and chaotic energy. Which is why there's a frustration energy that manifests, which is why there's a fatigue energy that manifests, and which is why there's many other energies that causes contempt of self because of that pushing. Even if it's for a positive reason, it's creating a negative result. Okay, so get it in order. Gosh, this retrograde. I had a meeting today with others on video. I'm going to tell you what it's for at the end of the show. And like the tech was just like going crazy, like just my verbiage is going crazy. My internal dictionary is going crazy with the retrograde. But I think every time I'm pushing, it's like take a step back, and then I feel the natural energy pushing me, right? Feel the natural energy, the natural zeal pushing. Guys differentiate between the two, between push of need versus push of passion. Push of need versus push of passion. And so then you'll really be in your true essence. So when things start picking up in this momentum, you'll have the balance. You'll be able to like surf on that energy. You'll be able to ride that wave very more clearly and actually in control actually with that too. So, all right, that's that. And so let's see who's live readings. Who's going to read right now? Who's put in for a reading? Let's check it out. I was thinking about if I wanted to say anything else too, because I'm kind of betwixt myself. Like, is there more to say? But let's start with a reading, a question. Let's start with that. And if I feel like I need to go somewhere else, I'll do it naturally too. I feel like I'm on like a regimen, but I kind of don't want to be on a regimen, so I kind of want to see what flows. Okay, Sydney Aaron. What's the vibe at work? There are lots of changes. Should I start looking for a new gig, or am I good for a bit? Let's see. Let me see about this changes. Yeah, there's changes there. I mean, I think there's a lot of restructuring going on. It doesn't feel massive, like to where you're going to be completely out. it won't push you out, but I think you'll find another gig. This gig feels temporary. I think this will expand into something better with a better pay and so forth. So it feels like by the end of the year you'll have a new opportunity. You know what I mean? So so I definitely feel like there will be a change. All right. It just feels the restructuring for me, not just with personnel, but also how they're formatting what they do and how they do their business. That's changing too. So I really think that's more a reflection of cleaning house, I would say. So I'm not surprised they're doing that. But I don't think it affects you. But I just feel like you will be moving on anyway. And I feel like you'll know this roughly by the end of the year. Could happen sooner, could happen later. It's just around that time. And a card just fell. Let's see if that's for you. Because, and yeah, to me with the Emperor and the Queen of Wands, it's saying that there's a lot of rigidness there. Excuse me. And I think that rigidness is creating more hunger within you and desire with you to be more creative in how you're going to be doing your work and transforming your work and elevating your work. So I just think this is just bringing a desire in you to really kind of move on to something that's more representative of what you're wanting. So I think that'll happen. I think you'll have that opportunity. I feel, I heard end of the year, but I feel November. You know what I mean? But like, again, these time frames are like, some people hold a time frame to like the T. It's like, well, just it's a guesstimate, right? It's an estimate of around this time. Things could shift, things could come over, which could extend it a month or two or a couple weeks or two in that sense. But that's kind of the guesstimate that I see on that. Not so much guesstimate, but the estimate of it, the barrier of the time frame. But I just feel like this is just your soul waking up to needing more and wanting more. Okay. And I think that's a good thing because it's time to elevate, but I just don't feel much I don't feel like there's much growth there for you. Like there's not much ability for growth there. So I feel like you're kind of be at the same level. You know what I mean? So it's stable, but not so much where it can elevate as much. And so I think that's another reason why if you're wanting to elevate, wanting to expand, then I feel like you'll be pulled out of that to be able to do so. Almost like it's necessary to do so. So, all right. And we have a card pull for Noel Way. A lot of restructuring, guys. I mean, that's just kind of part of this time right now is a restructuring phase, and like for you, Sydney, when it comes to like feeling that uneasy, like a restructuring, pay attention to what it's making you feel like, and pay attention to what it's kind of bringing out of you. So anytime, and this is for the room too, and I'm going to try to address the room to every question to relate it, is that every time there's a change, every time there's a shifting, a recalibration of something, there's an uneasiness within you, try to find out what that uneasiness is saying. Oh my God, am I going to lose a job? Which means that you don't feel like your job is secured, or you're holding on to it too much, which could be holding you back, or an uneasiness of you're wanting something more, that you want to move on, so maybe it's time to make that change, or if you just don't care, then it means that you're just comfortable. Everything's fine. Everything will work out for you. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. That means it's not going to be threatening you. So pay attention to how you're feeling when there's some sort of change or restructuring going on, whatever you're involved in, work, family, relationship, because it's going to tell you what you're wanting and where the direction you want to be in next. Okay? All right, this is a card pull for Noel Way. Okay. My work is to maintain neutrality. Yes. But also understand, Sydney, how you want to get the hell out of it. At some point. You enjoy it, but you want a little bit of an elevation on how you're doing your work. So whether it's through there or whether it's through another gig, I just feel like here it's not much for growth for some reason. In the long term. Short-term growth, yeah. Long-term growth, no. So I think you'll be able to grow there, and then like, okay, I tapped out. I got to go somewhere else. I just feel like that's a soon realization, if that makes any sense. That's how it reads. But that doesn't mean I don't like the company. I'm like, I like it. It's great. It worked for you, the way it worked for you up to this point. I'm still shuffling for Noel. So, let's see. All right, and the cards are just falling, Noel, so we'll see what that means. The cards are falling. Ooh, interesting. Okay, it's funny I got that too. Interesting. They had me pull quite a lot. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Sorry, I can't count. Damn, retrograde. I know. You know what? No, you always do that. That's true. You always tell me that you push a card out, and you always do that. See the power. Noelle, every time I pull a card, even if it's me or for someone else, Noelle's like she pushes a card to fall out, and it always happens. That energy. Okay. A lot of this is, I'm going to kind of read this generally speaking because, they're saying you have to get out of a rigid environment. So, the emperor is very much a very domineering, structured, energy. And, the Five of Swords is kind of like there's a lot of opposition. And this is kind of what we're saying about the collective read. A lot of opposition in it could be work environment or just, we'll say generally speaking, that I think that you have to work in an environment that has a free flow energy, right? Because I feel like you've been put up against a fight in a lot of circumstances, and we'll just say in your life overall that there's been a lot of opposition. You got to fight against, voice not being heard. The Three of Cups saying that there is something else coming in your way, because the Two of Wands is all about two options, and usually the two options is leaving something behind, starting something new, and the Three of Cups means that it's a good shift, or it's a good opportunity for you, because the King of Cups is also telling me like there's still even it's not bad what you've been doing in the past. The energy you had in the past isn't negatively charged or intended. It really is about understanding the environment that's best for you. And I think that means that, you don't want to feel like there's opposition any longer, both in your work life, in your personal life, relationships, whatever the case is. The opposition is getting old. It's like, I just say something, there's this opposing energy. I say something, I do something, it's just an opposing energy. So I just need someone who's going to be on the same page. I need a group of people that'll be on the same page. If it's a group of people, if it's family, if it's work, business, whatever the context. So it reads like overall to me. And I think they're saying now it's the time that you realize I shouldn't have to fight anymore. If I'm not being heard, and it's time to kind of, find an arena where I'll be heard, be around people and that where I can be heard, be in relationships where I can be heard, and where it's just easy flow that way. So they're saying that, you're leaving that behind, but it's not that it's negative. It's just there needs to be more lightness now. And there needs to be more where, you can be on a platform, on a pedestal in a sense. Because again, it just keeps saying it, these cards are showing massive opposition, massive, structure, rigidness, that you just need to get out of, overall, the energy state of this. Let me pull some oracles on this, and we'll see what that means. Yeah, even with the Seven of Wands here, like, having that opposition, like, I feel like, you're always right? I think in the end, you always end up being right. Like, even if no one listens to you or they dismiss your perspective or they're saying if you feel discounted, I don't know why they want me to use that word. If you feel discounted, it's like always around the corner, you end up being correct, right? And so they're just saying you need to be around people who will be that in tune with you, in your life. Friends that get you, not friends that misread you or, whatever the case is and all that stuff. So, but they're saying that's changing because the Two of Wands says there's another, shift to this, which is great. Okay. Oracle card, and then we'll move on. Not many readings on, so I'll close early tonight. So I don't mind, guys. If there's not much readings, we'll close down early. I have nothing else to speak about. I did it in my intro. I'll put oracle cards for you on this, Noelle, and then whatever few readings we have left, I'll do that, and we'll close early. I love this. They're saying you're going through extremes, too, Noelle. Going through extremes, right? But, with the faith card, it means that you still keep pushing forward. You still keep, allowing the circumstances and the extreme circumstances to know that you're always rising above the energy in that sense. You're always rising above, and that's creating more an abundant approach. Abundance, again, is quite vague, but, we all say abundance, but, it's creating that more, I would say, freedom energy for you. And understanding the extremes and how to balance and keeping your faith, keeping your perspective, keeping yourself elevated above it, is what's kind of creating this change, this new paradigm shift for you, which brings in that, of course, that greater sense of abundance, which is, I think, wonderful because it's almost like you find your breath of fresh air in a sense. All right. Hope that makes sense, and thank you for pushing more cards on the floor, making me bend over. But okay, and we have one more actually only, and it's in PayPal. Let me just get that pulled up really quickly. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, give me a second here. I hope that makes sense. I think it makes sense though, because a lot of it's general. A lot of it, not so much general, Noel, but a lot of it's like including other areas, in your life, like not just, your career life and not just your relationships. It's like more, than that. So, okay, this is for Christine Bronner. I think I pulled my neck when I did that. A career transition is my biggest goal for 2024. Can you sense into how or when this plays out for me? Let me sit on that for a second. I need to receive. The question's odd to me. Any sense of how or when this plays out? I think that's kind of like, that question's odd for me. Let me see what they want to say about career shift. Okay, let me just write just some writing here. Okay. Yeah, to me, there's a gap of education in between it for some reason. Like, whatever this closing is, they're showing like an education period before the transition. So either there's maybe a short schooling or a short education or something that involves education in between the paradigm shift, or they're advising that too, or getting more knowledge or experience in this. And so I think it really is more so the shift to me. I don't know if it's like relatively soon, with this shift, but they're really highlighting July for me. This question seems very kind of vapid in a sense of it just seems unrefined to me, which I think that when I get that energy, you might want to refine more on this transition and bridging and more clearer the goal on that and how you wish to play out the new expression. Because the information I'm just getting in a very generalized question is that you definitely have to be more educated in the newer area. I'm just seeing more schooling, more education, or more training or experience in that sense, more hands-on, and I think that's what I'm showing in betwixt that. And it doesn't feel like long though. So you might just maybe need to get some hands-on experience and that's it. Because I don't feel like it's like years of schooling in a sense, but education is what they're saying. Let me see if there's anything additional, because I don't like, there's something I don't like about this, and I need to find out what it is. Yeah, they're saying you're not being definitive enough. Like, you're not being clear enough on this, and you have to kind of brainstorm more. And maybe that's kind of the education that I'm feeling on this, because something feels misguided and misdirected. And so they need you to brainstorm a little bit more. Maybe set more affirmations. Maybe take a notepad and write down the specifics. Kind of like I was saying in the collective read, really to design that future, because something doesn't feel ready to me. And I'm not so concerned about the conditional things, which is why I'm looking more intellectually and emotionally, because we don't want you to trip yourself up. And I think that's what they're trying to say, to prevent you from tripping up. And I think that if you're focusing on more of the specifics and how you're going to evolve, I feel a more hands-on approach. So I don't know if that means there'll be something working with people that you get involved in and having more of a hands-on before you do so and work with people and learning more about the certain conditions of people. I just feel more of a hands-on approach when it comes to people. And I think that would be something maybe you need to be experienced in more, but I think it's just that before it proceeds. And I think you're maybe missing that portion of it a little bit. Is there a change? Absolutely, yes. I feel that. But I'm just looking at the intellect, what's holding you back and keeping you not so clear. And I think, again, it's not understanding the aspect of education or hands-on or that type of experience prior to the change. And understanding there needs to be more hands-on experience with people. because I just sense the change is actually being supervising people or working with people, managing people or helping people. I just see you being more hands-on with people in the future and need a little more experience with that. So it's a good thing, but I think there needs to be more clarity, more just specifics and more definitions of what you're really wanting to create and evolve into. I feel like it's lacking a little bit of that, or it's too generalized. And I think spending that time now, like again, the collective read will accelerate the process for you. So you're on track with that, but there needs to be more realization. But I know you'll do it anyways, because they would give me the month of July as being an important month. So that might be something of that nature in July that kind of pushes you forward in that sense, and gives you that complete realization of a shift. So again, some sort of education or hands-on experience that you get to have that says, oh, and then it brings you connections and resources, and you're like, okay, I had this experience, I went to this convention, or whatever the case is, and it gave me connections and resources, now I'm going that direction, and being more specific is going to guarantee to help you. Okay, let's go back to Venmo. We have, Stephanie Prrrr. Financial and work right now. Just anything else that comes to you about my life. Oh, Stephanie. You know I just love generalities, don't you? Let me see. I heard, okay, just randomly going in because I hate generalities, so I just will be very general. I heard like signing of a new contract. So if you're waiting for a contract to be signed, or if you're wanting a new contract to be signed, I feel like it just is going to happen. I heard signing of a new contract, potentially two. I heard two first. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable about the two, so maybe waiting on two. If you're waiting on two contracts, one comes in. Right? Or one of the two happens for work. Financially, everything's fine. When people like you ask about finances, I'm like, are you like cuckoo? Because everything's great financially, you know? So yes, I definitely feel like financially things will be well for you financially, especially this one contract that does come through, that does align with you, bring a lot of great, I would say, responsibility, but also great connections and resource. So I think that's great with that. We'll just kind of look at emotional. You know, we did kind of work finance. Let's look now emotionally, see what's going on with that in relationships. I still think you're struggling a little bit, releasing Mr. Past, but you're doing well. Like you're still moving forward. And I guess I want to relieve you on saying it's okay if it comes to you, you're thinking about it, as long as you're maintaining your balance on it, it's okay. It'll come to, it'll go into the past. Don't feel bad that it keeps coming up. That's quite all right. It'll move forward. I'm seeing you meeting somebody this year. They're showing that you might meet someone great this year. Not that like it's going to be a like amazing, romantic thing, but it might be nice, intimate connection, a fun connection. So I do see you meeting someone in the romantic sector. Like a dating thing or a nice, heated, casual relationship, just to get you going, So I think that's another aspect. And let's go to, what'd you say? I'm thinking about my mom and dad. What's the question with your mommy and daddy? Help me out here. I don't like generalities. What's the question? I'm just kind of trying to go down the line of a career in finance, relationships. So you'll meet someone this year as a fun, dynamic, which will get you over Mr. Past, but you're doing well moving forward. New contract this year, as well as, the finances are great. So if you have a specific question you want to throw in there, Stephanie, throw it in there. Because I like questions, not just like... I think you guys have to understand this. When you want me, a reader, I'll say me. I don't talk about other readers. I don't like to be general, because it's like walking into a hoarder's home and saying, okay, Scott, tell me about all this. And I'm like, can we start with a fucking room first? Like, it's where do you want to go? Where do you want to lead me? And so you have to understand, you have so much information in your whole life and so much connections, relationships, and thoughts and patterns that where do I begin? Don't just throw me in the mix, I tell people, right? So, okay. I'm not thinking about relationships. My mommy, I emailed you about. Oh, yeah. But I was going through, you didn't email a question, Stephanie, but I'm telling you about that, okay? I'm telling you about that. Yeah, we could talk privately about that, Stephanie. There's still a 40-day period when someone passes on before they become channelable, right? And so this is good for people who are listening too. If it's been shorter time, make sure your loved one has passed about, giving it 40 days before you want to channel anybody. Okay? And so once it's 40 days, Stephanie, you can reach out, and I think that'd be time she could be, I would say, channeled to me. But still, it got to be time. And I say because when there's a lot of, when we pass over, we have a life review that we have to go through. I was always told that it's 40 days, and I try to do beforehand. Sometimes they come through. I didn't get a link, Stephanie, right now, so she might not be available to channel at the moment. But you can definitely be, I would say, telepathically connected to her. So, that's fine. But she's not available for channeling. Because I get a block on that. I get like just a cloud. So wait 40 days for like a channeling in that sense. But you have a telepathic connection to where you can still connect with her. But yeah. But pay attention to what I was just saying, Stephanie. Okay. With the information I gave you, there's going to be a new contract this year. Okay. And finances are, of course, great. But remember, there'll be a nice fun relationship that comes in, or a fun connection for you that comes in for you that might help you uplift your spirits, Stephanie, that you might need. Right? Maybe it's a friendship or some sort of like intimate, casual relationship. You'll need that. So don't dismiss that either, because you have a whole life to experience and a lot to experience this year. Embrace that. My love? And then when your mom is ready, that's like a toaster, she's ready to channel, then she'll be accessible. But I think she'll come to you first, Stephanie. I think you'll be very clear. Like she'll be clear physically in a sense when she's coming to you, not just telepathically. And you'll know that she feels more physical in a sense, in the physical world. You'll know she's ready to really kind of connect and integrate and interact in the physical world. But as a medium, her energy isn't strong enough for me to channel because she's in life review. All right? And so any guys in the room, if you book a session with the medium, please make sure it's been at least 40 days since they've passed before channeling process. Otherwise, it will be difficult on the medium, if not possible to during that time. And it's interesting because, I was told that as a very, very, very young medium that was learning at that time. Like, why 40 days? I don't know. I still don't even know to this day, but it always seems to be that bracket of timeline for some reason. Jacqueline McDurr. I hope I'm saying that correct. We'll just say Jacqueline. I'm making costumes, and I'm thinking I'd like to do this as a way to bring in some income to my family. Do you see a path of success for me? Please know I go by Frankie. Okay. Frankie. Okay. Remember, guys, I see a little blank picture with just an icon and names. So remember, this is so impersonal to me that I try to make it personal. So Frankie, let me see what information they have regarding costumes. Everything can be successful, by the way. I just want to see what you need to make it successful, right? You're fine, Frankie. Don't worry. Sometimes this retrograde, I'm like, what do I remember, right? I'm like, what? My wires get crossed. Excuse me. What is... everything will be successful if you... I'm just trying to get the information to push it successfully. Give me a moment. They're saying to focus on roleplay / gaming communities. Okay, so get proficient in reading, looking up on certain top gaming characters and anime movies and stuff like that in the gaming communities, as well as the role-playing communities. Like maybe study more about they're saying about those environments to create costumes that are needed and that people are obsessed over, and get them on Etsy and get them on different channels. Maybe create a channel where you can actually show these type of costumes that people are looking for in the role-play communities. They're saying also custom made. If somebody wants a custom made costume that fits their specific gaming character or role-playing character, you can do that too. So this is what they're saying to do to make it successful. If you're just making costumes and putting them online, ain't gonna do nothing. So that's what they're saying, that to look in that direction. They're showing like huge. They're showing these gaming communities and these role-playing communities, they have like conventions and stuff. So you can even tap into conventions and be like, show up there. I'll make your custom-made costume of your, your favorite anime character, whatever the case is. Then, boom, it will explode. I'm saying this because I'm seeing that you are talented and you can do this. If you were not, I'd be like, you got to work on your sewing skills a little bit. So, but I feel like you have the skill sets to do it, and to freshen up on this. And they're saying that would make it successful. Perfect, yeah. They're saying that is the community for it. You'll have fun doing it too. I think the energy they show me with you, Frankie, like you're going to be like so into the networking of this for some reason. You're like, I'll go to that convention. I'll set up a booth. Like they show you to be very, very determined with this. So, and you're going to have a fire with that. So I think that's awesome. I think it's cool. So that's, I'm like, you'll go far with just the drive alone that you have. You'll go far with that. So I like that. I get excited. I get a fire with it. So yeah. Good job. And feel free to share too when you create things. Feel free to share that with people too, because I think that would be great for people to see that. Oh, and some of you guys know Deanna, our regular. I had told her, I think a couple weeks ago, she'd be meeting 3 guys in Vegas, but one would stand out. That's exactly what happened. She emailed me. She's like, she went to Vegas, met 3 guys, and one stood out. She connected with one. So I just want to confirm to you guys that she did have fun. And so those guys who know Deanna and remember that from a couple weeks ago, that did happen. Which is funny. Sometimes it's the silliest predictions happen. I'm like, did that really happen too? So Lisa Brumelli. Carrie, you're requesting for me to pay you $15 for a reading. I think you did. I think you did it wrong. So, Kara Abington, you're requesting for me to pay you $15 for a card pull. You might just want to do that over again. Okay. Rebecca Wallace, do your guys have any advice for me this next year going forward, or does anyone on the other side have messages? I'm not doing mediumship here, but you paid for a live video. So, Rebecca Wallace, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to copy a link for you, okay? And I'm going to put it in. I don't have my Wi-Fi on. I'll do this. Let me text it to myself and copy that. I'm going to put a link in the Venmo of the comment of your Venmo, and then you click on that link, you will join, and we'll put you on a live video. If you intended for that, because you paid $40 for that. So let me just send you that link right now. I don't know why I made that noise. Okay, so Rebecca Wallace, if you're watching, please have your phone handy. I'm going to send you a link. Okay? So click on that link. You'll just ask you to click the microphone camera settings, and then when you do, we'll get you on and we'll answer your questions. Remember, guys, please do not be general in your questions. Card reads are going to be general. This is a very different format than a one-on-one session. In a one-on-one session, I go by questions anyways, and I bring up additional as well. Please refrain from being so general in this format because I am not in front of you. It's so vague, already. So please help me by being more refined in your questions. Instead of what's happening for me this year. Well, I mean, that will require a full read of what's happening for this whole year and what's going on in so many different dynamics. These are short questions, so make sure your one question is one question too. Maybe be refined on that. Someone's like, what's going on for me this year? That's requires a whole session. And for time's sake and because of, for the sake of generalities. But Rebecca Wallace, please check your Venmo. And in the comment, I posted a link. Click that, and we'll get you on a live video. And we got a card pool for Lisa Cruz. Lisa Cruz. Over here. That's okay. Take your time, Lisa. I'm going to do a card pull in betwixt that. And again, I'm not doing general mediumship. Oh, who's coming in for me? I don't have the time for that. That's not going to be for this. It'd be like more specific questions. And if you have specific questions that way, sure. And that's for time's sake. And just because of others who are waiting to. And I'm kind of saying that for myself because I will go on longer than I need to. So It's also to make sure I'm not just overextending myself too much. So understand it's more for me too of saying this. Okay. All right. So for Anthony, got it. All right. Let's see. Interesting. All right. Got this. Just for Anthony, and you guys hear the nice quiet. You know, I like to put my theta waves. I'm gonna have to create my own theta waves at some point because I've been getting, tagged for having that as you know, because I don't own the waves, so I'm gonna have to create my own to put underneath. Because don't you miss my waves, the data waves that you put on? Unless I can find royalty-free ones, but a lot of reversals. Let's try that one again. I don't like that. Don't like this either. Tossing that too. Every pull I'm tossing because I don't like any of these. So that's a sign in itself. All right, the message is for Anthony because I just tossed away 3 reads because I don't like any of these energies, and I think that you're tossing away important information. You got to pick a side. You got to pick a side, Anthony. I feel like you're trying to appease different sides of the picture, whatever that is, and they're saying that you have to pick a side on what you're going to do, because you might be you got to take more time on deciding and be more patient on picking the side and trying to stop appeasing everybody. Okay? Because that's actually causing more conflict than you think. By appeasing 2 people or appeasing 2 sides, you're actually causing more conflict than actually picking a side, actually. In certain circumstances, you could appease both sides, but in this circumstances, I say you can't appease both sides. You got to pick one. And, if it's regarding 2 different relationships, then you're going to have to pick one direction and allow the other to catch up and to deal in a sense. Because the fact of not making a decision right now is actually creating more conflict. And when you set those boundaries too about, on both of those sides of the picture for yourself and actually put people in the place where they need to be and where they belong, well, then you'll find more peace. You won't be so scattered. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you're missing the bigger picture too, but you're trying to appease everyone else around you. And I just feel that's causing more chaos, and you're actually dragging things out by not making the decision, I would say. And I feel like, let me go on a little bit more for that too. Michelle Bell. Okay. I'm just going to pull another one because it's incomplete because I pulled so many. I'm just like throwing them away. Like, nope, this is crap. Nope, this is crap. And so you might be taking on too much information too. And this is why I think it's part of the read too. You might be listening to the wrong people. You might be taking the wrong advice. You're probably making, decisions based off somebody else's perspective that ain't working, that you're not taking your own perspective. And that's also keeping you torn between these 2 perspectives and these 2 choices. So you gotta make your own decision and stop contaminating yourself with just garbage advice. And this includes mine. So, you even could take my advice and say, does that resonate with me? And if not, throw my advice away. You got to pick what's needed for you. And so, but I would hope my advice is actually helping to stop the fragmentation. Everything's a reversal, and it's between there's it feels like it's family energy too, conflict with family, legal matters too. I feel like there might be, you might have some issues legally. Regarding financial issues or some sort of financial contractual issue that you'll need to, come to terms with at some point this year. I don't feel like things will work against you. I just feel like you need to get on it and choose. And that's kind of the message behind there. So then you can have more of a peace for yourself. And then everybody else can accept the boundaries that you've set, and everyone is clear. And that's what they're saying that you need to be doing right now. All right, so it's not future. This is not future. This needs to be of the present, and that's what they are saying. They, meaning your guides, because in moments like this, I need the guides to step in and chitty chat. Sydney, did you go again? Am I seeing this correctly? Okay, Sydney Aaron. Going to Nashville this weekend. What's the vibe? Oh, so Sydney, you're just hoping for a Deanna experience, huh? With the no, I'm just kidding. the three guys opportunity. 'Cause remember that? Nashville. Good. It feels good to me. I heard the word enlightening. And I'll be with you just in 1 second, Rebecca. I'll just join you in, but just you'll be backstage. It feels enlightening to me, actually. So I think you'll have a very enlightening experience there. You might come up, take a notebook, I'm sure you will, but you're going to have some inspiration. So either channeled inspiration, channeled messages. I feel like things are going to be coming to you there that would be very inspired for you. Okay? So I actually feel like this would be more of a spiritual moment, more of a, enlightening moment. Not so much like Deanna's fun in Vegas, but just more enlightening. And so I think you're going to clear your head out and have more of an inspiration of, moving forward with work and moving forward with ideas. And so that seems to be more exciting to me and more settling. So whatever has been unsettled, they're saying will be settled. The energy will feel more settled and clear, more clarity and more clear-headedness. Not even a word, more clear-headedness. So it's a good vibe. I feel like you're going to feel like you're in your own too. All right. Okay, and we have Rebecca here. Let me get her in the room here. If I can, sometimes I do it and I add them in and they just pop in the wrong side. There we go. We got you. Let me get my headphones really quick because otherwise you will echo. Bear with me a second. I thought I prepared for that. Here we go. Un momento, because otherwise it will echo. Okay. And I thought I set it up. Oh, retrograde. I forget to do things. Okay. Let's go. Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so what is your question?
I think I kind of was thinking about asking what you already told me that you can't do, which is if there was any mediumship thing that was coming through. So I'll change gears and just keep my question to if you have any guides or your guides have any advice or anything like that for me regarding my career over the next year and what I'm working on right now in my career.
Let me see. They're saying there's got to be a bridge somehow, because I feel like there's being a bridging period to where what you do now expands into more. And so I'm going to be kind of general with that for a moment and just kind of explain what they're saying by this. So many, and it's kind of, I said this just to another, I don't know who I just read, but I said this about this bridging period. But they're showing me a lot of you writing something or gathering something together, either through building a course for something or an instruction to something. There's some sort of level of teaching, in a sense, that I feel like that you have to expand on to assist with other people. So again, if it's writing or writing some sort of a course, they're saying that will be done, I would say, in the next year or so. And I don't know why I heard instructions, so it might be you come up with some sort of game plan or teach something to a certain degree, either for a company or people, and even some sort of mentorship. And I feel like that kind of blends in with that as well. So I think there'll be a lot of different changes in that sense when it comes to your career. The biggest thing they kept saying to me was like literary arts in that sense. So I think that's another calling for you to dive into when it comes to the writing aspects, mentoring through that writing process, and creating a modality of something, and I think that a lot of that will be channeled to you. It doesn't mean you have to be a medium for it to be channeled to you, but I think a lot of that will be inspired to you mainly this year. They're saying kind of mid to probably within a year, actually, this will be in full effect or full movement, fully realized by May of next year. So basically about a year, because we're kind of creeping up into May. But in that time, you're building all that. You're kind of putting all that structure and pieces together, foundation together. Because I don't know, and it might sound weird now, but it makes sense in the future. I see you being somehow teaching something and somehow speaking about something in that sense, right? And so, or something with a new idea or a new modality that you've created. So there's like a lot of expansion with that, actually.
Okay.
Right now they're saying, about what you're doing now, they say like learning curves. So they're saying you might just be learning different aspects of your expression and what you're doing, that you're in absorption mode in a sense. So they're saying like, that's good. So continue with this. You'll get more of that inspiration, that you're on track with that. But they're saying your modality is bringing things together, putting things together. And so, and I think that can help with businesses, can help with people in their businesses, or just even with helping people overall, and teaching people how to do that. So there's a lot of, I would say, I'm kind of getting very passionate about this because a lot of momentum in this in the future. Specifics will start laying out in this year, like I said before, and it'll be a lot more clearer for you, but you definitely are being pushed and guided into a newer direction in a sense.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Anything specific with that? Because I really like where you're going. They're saying you're very focused, you're very anal, but they're saying sometimes you got to get out of yourself, get out of your head, I don't know whether show me that you need to like get into visual arts or something visual too at some point, just as a hobby. There needs to be some sort of visual.
Yeah, I'm an artist, and I'm a muralist. So
what is that?
A muralist.
Okay, so I don't know. You're going to maybe bring writing into that, maybe storytelling, teaching something. You know what I mean? It's going to elevate you, and I think that's probably what they're trying to show me, that in the visual arts and combining the two of this, and teaching people a new modality, bringing people together, bringing things together. You know what I'm saying? Inspiring in that way. But I think the writing part is probably the channel part that I was saying before. And learning about that, absorbing, and how you can put this into like motion, put this into teaching and helping and assisting people. That's big for me, in a sense of taking what you're doing and allow it to be more expressive, more expansive. But that visual creation is like in conjunction too.
Okay.
That.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything specific with that? Because we can go deeper, because I just get like, symbologies, and we can go deeper and warm up clearer to that. But they're saying have more fun with it now that you're kind of still maybe in your head too much.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I didn't really, sometimes I just don't know if I should just quit because I feel like if I'm not getting anywhere with this, or
it's just the modality that we were saying before. Like that's the whole thing they're trying to say, change the modality or bring a new facet to it, right? Because especially in this day and age, we have to have something that's going to latch on. We're oversaturated with art, music, and all that stuff, right? We're oversaturated with that. When we bring another element to it, then it's like, and so that's what we're saying. You are at heart a teacher. I don't think you realize this. So somehow you.
Like I literally am a teacher. I am an art teacher. well,
that makes sense then, right? But somehow teaching about this or teaching people how to create a modality and helping people to be inspired in that, combining the two, you know what I'm saying? And expressing that in that fashion. They're saying combining that essence and then creating and writing more, putting this to a story and connecting the literary arts with the visual arts.
Okay. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I just think like you have so much that you might be just like narrowing it down too much about what you're able to do, and just instead of just bringing it all together, connecting it all together. Because you're very, very, very insightful, and I mean that again, that teacher energy and teaching it's a great attribute to your soul expression, and. Again, and combining it all, you'll get that realization, like I said, in a year's time. But we look back flashing forward to May of next year, looking back, you'll be like, oh, I get it now. I see how it all came together. I have my stories, but now there's a visual art moving with the story. I get it now, and I'm teaching people now too how to create their facets, and inspiring in that sense. So you're on the right track.
Okay.
But they just want you to be more in a sponging mode, so you can receive all that inspiration. All right, and. I don't know why there's a mother-like energy also coming to you so randomly that I have to acknowledge there's a mother-like energy and spirit that's connecting with you and also guiding you. It feels like a kind of a mentor-like energy. So again, it says mother-like. So it's a mother energy or a mother-like, but that's a very strong energy just coming through to you that wants to acknowledge that you were there, and they are connecting with the sunflower. So you might see that after the session as confirmation. And I feel like they are kind of guiding or mentoring you during this process too, because this mother energy also feels like a teacher energy or teacher-like energy energy as well, or someone that inspires. And it's like kind of handing you that torch. So you might start seeing a sunflower reference coming around you, which will be, and maybe you'll paint a sunflower too, and that will be another inspiration. But that'll be confirmation that this mother-like energy is connecting with you. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Any specific? Does that make sense? By the way, because that feels weird.
Yeah, no, it does. Like I really didn't have. I really just like I had asked you a question a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, because I had just come out of a really bad breakup of 15 years, and so.
Good.
And then I was just here tonight, and I thought, oh, I'll just throw a question out there just to do the video read, just for kind of fun. So I don't necessarily have anything hardcore specific.
That's okay. We hit on enough good stuff, and I think I like what you're doing. And if anything, just confirming that you have a path with this. Please don't give it up. It's about bringing a different modality to it. All right, you're meant to do this. This is your soul expression. Okay, and all you need is just guidance along the way, right? And your guides are saying, you know, they're very proud of you that you've humbled yourself to come on video and seek guidance. They're saying you do need to seek guidance in that way, and being very vulnerable like this. So they're saying that's a very, very unique expression of your soul. You're vulnerable to come on live. You're vulnerable to seek guidance. So they're saying continue with that energy. They want to guide you.
All right, cool.
All right, my love.
Right on. Thanks.
It's good to see you. Keep me posted, though. I want to see some of your work, okay?
Yeah,
and
right,
this way we could, because I would love to share it too and show people your work as well.
Sweet. Okay.
All right, love.
I appreciate it.
All right, my love. Have a wonderful night, okay? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very sweet energy. And for those of you guys who are also kind of, you know, in a position to where you guys have, you know, an art form, or you guys have a passion that you guys want to do, you know, it's important for you guys to understand because it might not be going on one path or one direction. Go another direction or expand it. Don't give up on your passions. You know, this life is not easy, and sometimes we have to channel the blueprint. So take that as inspiration too for you guys, that don't give up on your passions, please. Don't give up on just because you don't know the physical path yet. Keep pushing for that. Keep pushing for that. Keep pushing for that. And especially when it comes to artistic expression, you know, we cannot deprive the world of artistic expression. Imagine a world without music, without artistic expression, without a wonderful teacher, without, you know, any great communicators and storytellers. Imagine a world without that. I'd rather hang myself. Actually. We need to continue that, but we need to raise consciousness on how we do so. And then that will be, I would say, where the universe will push you forward and give you the opportunities that you need to express it. Okay, we got Kara. Kara did it. Yay. Yes, I got Kara. I love that you put the laughing emojis in there, Kara. Oh, Kara's like, Scott, pay me $15 to give me a reading. That was great. All right, there's a card pull for Kara. I fucking love her already. Oh, Kara. I feel like I can hang out with Kara's energy and just freaking laugh at the stupidest crap. Kara just has that energy. Oh, Kara. Okay, just shuffling for you, Kara. Sorry for the moment of silence. All right. Kara, you think about getting a dog at all, by the way? There she is. PC Monkey the Third. What does that mean? Kara, what does that name mean? Oh my God, I love her. I don't know. I don't know if you're thinking about getting a dog at all, Kara, but I feel like a new dog entering the picture at some point. Just connecting with the dog energy. It's just random. I know, but that's not the card pull that I'm getting. I just felt like she should be getting a new dog, or new dog is coming in, or I don't know, or pet if you don't like dogs. Okay. What's your kid's account? How cute. Okay, so this will be kind of an emotional read for you. Oh, you have a dog. Maybe your dog's just showing up. It's just random. I don't know why. They're saying you've been like nurturing, at least watering a lot of a lot of good intentions. And with the Ace of Wands, you're saying that, there needs to be some more creative energy coming in your life. So speaking about creative energy, and here you are right after that. So how synchronous of you to be going next after the last read. But they're saying there needs to be more of a creative flow and creative energy in your life right now, and a creative expression. They're saying you've been nurturing a lot of things. You've been nurturing family. You've been nurturing other people and other things, that you've been somewhat not so focused on the self. And they're saying you might be feeling a really strange sense of depression or anxiety. Not major, but there's some undercurrent of this kind of, I feel a little depressed, or I feel a little anxiety. I feel like uncertain, and you might be feeling that a very weird energy that way. So I think that, when you're looking at what you've been harvesting and what you've been doing and nurturing, and you say planting seeds, and this is all about planting seeds. You see the card that I pulled here. You see that? Kara? Literally, it's growing. She's watering that. So that's what I'm saying, that you've been nurturing a lot. But it's now time to get your creative expressions on board. I don't know if you've been thinking about doing a side business, side job, or a side hustle, or some side business, or whatever the case is. If you haven't, then it's going to come about this year. You might be thinking doing something small. Maybe working on accessories. I don't know. But I feel like that might come to light. Or say that you decide that you understand you want to, create purses that have logos on it, or a t-shirt. Somehow you're going to find some creative expression of a little store, a little side gig this year. If you're doing it now, then you'll find it out. If you haven't been doing it now, it's going to come about this year. Because you haven't been expressing these things, that's where you've been feeling kind of like depressed and kind of like, I have too much on my shoulders and I really can't get out of this paradigm. Is saying, but you will. But you are. And it's this creative expression. So whatever this side hustle is, this side gig, this merchandising, or creating your own shirts or mugs or purses. They show me purses, but I know it's a symbol for accessories. You might just find a nice way to do that, You don't have to be that creative. You'll find that you're creative. Okay, it can be so simple. Let me tell you this: we all have a creative energy in us, Kara. We all have a creative energy in us. We all and we're not saying that you're going to be a painter. We're not saying that you're going to be, I don't know, designing. But you might have an idea to do some sort of accessory or merchandise. And maybe it is with dogs, because the dogs showed up to me initially, the dog. So I'm getting fragmented energy. So maybe you're a little scattered. But it might be with the dog energy. Maybe accessories for dogs. Maybe a doggy purse or a doggy bag that you actually think about and you vent and say, we need this kind of bag for dogs. Or a shirt with a dog logo. Something of that, which is a side hustle that you come up with. And stop saying you're not that creative. That idea is creative. I'm not so creative. That's creative to even think that, because you can't not be creative. So this is going to be inspired to you this year, okay? And again, it might be dogs or accessory for a dog, just something cute in that way. They're like, I have an idea. It'll come to you. And many people who are not creative in the sense of creating music or art are very creative in like coming up with ideas or inventing things or different things that people need. You're going to find that this year. Okay, and that's gonna be a year of all the seeds that you've planted and nurtured in your life. And let me tell you this, Mrs. I'm not so creative. You so randomly have good ideas, good thoughts, and you kind of joke about it, like, oh yeah, I should have came up with that idea. They're showing to me along your life, you constantly have one good idea here, and then you don't do anything. One good idea here, and you just think it's funny that you have good ideas. Every so often, you have really good ideas about something, you don't do anything with them. So you are pretty creative. So I don't even know why you're even saying that. So you might find yourself in a position where you have a really good idea about something, like, hey, actually, I want to do something with this. Okay, so that'll come to pass. So I don't believe it. You're not that creative. I don't buy that. But I think this is a good year, like emotionally, that you kind of will realize that. And all the seeds that you have planted of good ideas in the past and everything you planted in the past, and as far as what you've been nurturing, and even just being a mom and having a family is being nurturing, putting that good energy, is like you've been nurturing, planting a lot of seeds even for that alone. But they've been saying that you have been feeling that you want something to express yourself with. You want something that's your own baby. You want something that's going to express, your energy. And so that's what's going to be coming to fruition this year. That's the seeds that you've been planting. Okay? And so don't forget, when you have a realization like that, Spirit answers, Spirit calls, okay? So I would say this year is going to be very kind of expect the unexpected this year, okay? And more so into like next year, expect the unexpected. And that's what I got for that. All right. That's right, Michelle, you say malarkey. That's malarkey, you're not creative. I think you're creative, Kara. I think you know you're creative, but you don't give yourself the credit because you think it's not like massive, like an artist. Please get out of that part. But yeah, side hustle, and it might involve a friend too. Like a friend might have an idea, and you're like, "Yeah, let's do that," or a friend pushes you to do it, or goes in with you, or something like that. Just an idea will manifest that way for you. Okay. This is for Sarah Cheney. Is this the last two? Let me just see. It just wants to log me out. Tech, these sites. It's like, oh, your session is expired. Let's log you out of it. There is an announcement tonight. Bear with me. Okay, this is the final one. I will get to the announcement, okay? Sarah Cheney says, I got kind of sideways yesterday with my partner. Nothing terrible. It's related to how much I give versus expect from him. Is the stress causing me to contract in fear, or is it real that I need to kind of meter how I get to support myself better, or both? Let's see. I don't think that you were out of line in a sense. Let me read the dynamic, Sarah, because the dynamic itself might be out of order. Benjamin, what up, man? Or Sarah, hi Sarah. Oh, there's Sarah. That's right. Forget Benjamin. Or yeah, Benjamin, Sarah. Okay. No, I think what you're experiencing right now is you really are feeling it's like we said in the collective, right? About standing up, for what is right. And again, I was being dramatic about spiritual rage, but in this sense, it really is about standing up for your voice and pushing forward. So I think you're actually pushing with your partner that you feel there is an imbalance. And I think you feel like there is, not so much of a support coming your way. And not in the way that you feel you deserve it. So I just think you're trying to speak up for yourself. Not that they're not supportive, but they're at times dismissive. And I think at times it could be lazy with their support. And I think that you feel that at times. And I think that, you also feel that, it's really time for me to get what I want in this relationship instead of kind of like, swallowing my pride or just swallowing what I feel that I want to say and not saying it. I just think this is a situation of you saying what you really feel. And I don't think you're used to doing that, so you felt maybe guilty for doing that. Oh my God, I stepped out of line. I think the fact that you feel like you stepped out of line is very telling. Saying what you feel, okay? Saying what you want, right, is not stepping out of line. That's necessary. And so you need to start doing that more. And I think that, your partner may not be able to understand how to cope with that because I think they think in their own mind that they're supportive, but in a sense, they're not really being as supportive as you need. And I just feel like they may not listen fully, if that makes sense, Sarah. Or they listen, but they're hearing you, but not listening. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that you're feeling that, but it's time for you to step up on that, And so you got to keep speaking up. You got to keep, addressing your issues. And that should never be an imposition to anybody. If it is, they got to go, or you need to go somewhere else. Period, point blank, and so I think that get used to that, keep doing that, and get used to that being a norm for you. Because let me ask you this, Sarah, many people are very vocal to tell you how they feel about you, right? So if you got to listen to other people's shit and listen to other people's stupid freaking opinions and listen to their woes and what they feel and want, then fair game, they got to listen to you too. And so if you don't want to listen, then he can go somewhere else and you go somewhere else, right? So, no, stand up. You listen to enough shit, and you listen to enough of your partner's aggravations. So it's time for you to stand up and say, hey, look, show up a little bit here. Let me use my voice. So, no, you're not out of line. You're completely in. The only fear aspect is the fact that you stood up for yourself and felt guilty for doing that. That's it. Well, it took some time, but he did. But look, that's more proof to you, Sarah. That's more proof to you that he was thrown off, but then he was able to see it. So that's good, I would say, resolve. That's good evidence that's saying, hey, it does work, right? And he's not used to that, but it's showing you that I should keep doing it more and more. And if they don't get it, ba fanculo, we say in it down. Fuck off, right? But I think it's a good sign that you did. It took him a while to get used to it, but he came around, right? Thank God he did. Some don't come around. Some take weeks to come around, months to come around, years to come around, or don't come around at all. So get rid of that guilt. That is a parental energy that's giving you that freaking guilt, and understand that is necessary. You are supposed to speak up. You can't be all inbox and not outbox. Okay, don't take all that's in. Give out too, both in the positive and also in the negative sense. Okay. Okay, that concludes the readings for tonight. So, yes, and the special kind of announcement is we have a show. Christopher Witecki, myself, Devin Doer, and Chris Reck have a show called Leading Out Loud, and of course, LOL. And we kind of read today's topics. We kind of bullshit. We predict things. It's a spiritual shit show, we call it. So that will be airing May 22nd. It will be live on Monday. So I will be, and Chris will be, and others will be sending the adverts to that. So keep your Mondays open and free. Your Monday night open. I believe it's at 6 p.m. I have to double check. I'm creating the advert for it now. I just have to get the deets and so join us. And it will be actually streamed to all our platforms too. So you can find it on Serious Joy, you can find it on mine, you can find it, whatever. We'll be streaming to all our platforms, and that'll be the starting of a wonderful new show. Okay, on 4/22. And so you can see us all collaborate, and so be a part of that wonderful show. And those who don't know, and I should have put the link in the description. I forgot. But the Unite the Light conference is also in May 18th and 19th. So get your tickets at unitethelight.love. There is a link on my Facebook page and a link on my Instagram, as well as you can go to Serious Joy, find the link there as well. And so join us. And there will be also tickets for streaming. So you can stream if you can't make it. You can watch us from your home. And so I will be presenting, Christopher will be presenting, Devin will be presenting, and Chris Reck will be presenting, as well as I think Brittany Carmichael, I think her name is, will be presenting. And there'll be panels on Saturday. There'll be so much fun, so much fellowship. So come check us out. And you can check me out every Thursday too, at the same time, same place. And for those of you who are watching, if you wish to have a personal one-on-one session with me, of course, they are a lot different than these general, quick little reads. In my one-on-one sessions, I go more thorough, they're more specific. We have more time to sit together. So I do offer live readings. You can see on my website, scottcruzpm.com, link in the description, the different aspects of a live reading session I offer, which covers everything from health, from subconscious programming and trauma resolving and future and career and yada, 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 relationships, all that stuff we can get into, as well as I offer mediumship sessions to connect with those who've crossed over. We dive in. That's a very delicate process as well. So it's great to have those sessions if you want to connect with someone who's crossed over. Remember, make sure they have passed on 40 days before you book a session with a medium. And also the other session I offer is Intuition Builder. If you want to develop your intuitive abilities as a psychic, as a medium, as a clairvoyant, whatever the case is, empath, you want to understand how to work with your empathy, you can also book that session as well. And if not, just join me here, get a reading here. I have plenty of avenues for you to connect with me. So connect. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful. I appreciate every single one of you guys who are in the room, who show up, and those who are my loyal viewers. I appreciate you too. Let's expand this page. Let's expand these lives. And if you guys have any ideas and that you want to hear about, any topics to describe or to discuss, and any other live in the future, please send me an email, post in the comments, and we can get some other topics in here as well, and any other ideas of what you want to see for the lives. I think someone said, Patty might have said something about, maybe having a small fee to have a group read or something that nature. I'll figure that out, how that would be. Again, it's one-on-one. You guys are in the room anyways, and those who want to come on video, so I can figure out maybe how to correlate something like that. Who knows? But so you'll stay posted on that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And as I always say, you are all, let me get this ready so I can look into your eyes here. You're all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you guys want to create? Guys, have a wonderful night. Much love and blessings. Here's a long outro for you so you can continue chatting in the chat. And I'll see you see you Monday and then Thursday. Ciao.
David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You said like to summon your end table. This too.
My God, you're crazy.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that
always
make sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine. Somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some MagnaWave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come out here and talk bull and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with